How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel of the Rusty Nuts Garage. Welcome to the video. So, if you did watch the last one, you'll know the predicament we are now in. Limited budget, limited amount of money, and very limited options. So, what are we going to do about it? Well, today is this thing. Now, the reason why I'm calling it a thing, and I'll probably never be able to pronounce its name properly, is because it's this... I'm just going to call it curvy and be happy. Basically, this is the way that we're going to have to make some money to start off with. We literally have to strip all this down. We have to get this over to body. We have to try and get this going. We have to really hope that we can make some money off this. I'm not really sure who's going to buy this off of us, and I'm really not sure where it's going to end up going, but we need to get rid of this so we can start making money, so in fairness we can start really pushing things out. This is the problem we're just about to have. This car is a wreck, and we have got a very small budget when it comes to being able to fix this up. So yeah, I'm hoping it won't be too bad. I'm hoping we'll be able to make something of it. But yeah, this is our first project, so we're taking the panels off now. What we have to do is we literally just have to try and straighten this out as much as we can. So we need to do a complete strip down first, then we need to get it over to Steve in the body, and then we need Danny to just go over this with everything, because it's so dirty and it's so decrepit. I'm not even sure where it was standing when we bought. I mean, we bought this from... Christ, did we get this from the junkyard? We got this from the junkyard, and it was a beat up pile of crap. I'm hoping with what we're going through right now, the fact that we've only got 60 grand left because all our money's tied up in an F1, we really need this car to pay off for us to get us into the next step, which is to fix those 3 Skylines. So, without further ado, let's take this apart, let's get this over and get it all sorted. Let's go! I'm Hybridsteel. I run this ragtag garage where we fix and restore all cars, shapes and sizes. This is Rusty Nuts Garage. The only things we've got left to take out now is the fuse box, so we've got to take that out and whatever's left of the engine. The downside is there's not a lot left of this engine, so we're looking at basically a full build engine, which is going to suck. Really is. And well and truly, there's not a lot left of this, and I really don't like the fact there's not a lot of this, but that's just the joy. That's just how it's going to be. And the worst part about this is that we have to rebuild the engine. That is the absolute worst part about it. But yeah, basically at the moment we are really, we're against it. So that's everything out of this car, apart from the seat. Give us a second. Let's get all the old suspension stuff stripped down first. The reason why is because, in all fairness, this stuff is decrepit, it's old, most of it we're probably not going to be able to get anyway, but it adds to a shopping list of parts that we need to use for inventory. So what we tend to do here is we take all of the parts off the car, we lay them all out on a big sheet of paper, and then we write down all the stuff that we need. So if we need to have new rims, we buy new rims. If we need new tyres, we need new... and so on and so forth. Basically, we work our way down this list of everything we need, and then we order it all up, see how much it's all going to cost us, poo ourselves a little bit, and then put it all back together. That's literally how we do things over here. It's not a good thing when you've got this much to find, and I've got to try and find the original schematics for this car because there's not many of these around, if any of them around, and the reason why is just because it's such a rare model. It was even just luck to find one in Larry's scrapyard out of every other scrapyard in the whole of this entire area. But to find one of these cars, yes, it's ugly. I personally don't like the look of this car, but it was cheap. And that means whatever is cheap on it means that it could possibly turn a profit. That's what I'm going for. So let's get this all finished, and let's get this rake removed and everything else. So if we can get the crankshaft out, we'll get the block off, and then it's all good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head over to our workbenches, get this all repaired up, make our list, we'll go and buy some parts, and hopefully we won't kill ourselves when it comes to the budget. What we are going to do is we are going to build a supercharger for this car. Now, this car is not to be desired. Like, I genuinely feel that this car is something that is just going to be, well, it's going to be a bit of a ball ache, but at the same time, it'll be fun. The thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to buy the parts as we go through this block, so it's going to take a little bit longer, so I'll get on to do this now. I'll come back, and then hopefully by the time I finish this, the body will be back, and that'll be whenever. So I'll get into this now, it's all good. Honestly, I think that's the quickest we've ever put one of these engines together. We're getting quite good at putting these ones in. This seems to be our standard, a V8 supercharger. It just seems to be something we can just whack together really quickly now. And I'm actually glad we can, because, gotta be honest, it sort of helps being able to do this quickly. So it's just and done, next job, and so on and so forth. It's actually good knowing that we can do this, because all other engines, I feel, in fairness, well, it just doesn't look as nice, does it? And when you get the blower and everything stuck on top, even if it's poking through the hood a bit, it looks alright. Okay, so we can go home now, go to bed, and then next morning we'll get up and hopefully, yeah, we need to go to sleep. It's been a long day. So hopefully it's bright and early tomorrow morning, we'll be back and the body will be in the shop already. Catch you guys later. Hopefully the body is in here and it'll be all good. Please, 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 please. Oh, yes. Steve never disappoints. This is actually looking really, really good. I like it. Even cleaned up on the inside. Danny did a really good job in there, didn't he? Because this was straight out of a junkyard. I love the old school 8-track. This is so cool. Anyways, where's the old radio? Gear Sticks original. They've done well finding this one. And this is, I gotta be honest, this looks smart. Yeah, it looks good. It looks straight, looks nice, and I really hope this paints well. I'm still not sure what colour I should go for yet, but we'll definitely get this going. So, Jeff did an amazing job on that, and it's good. Now, let's go and spend some time putting stuff back on this car. We got to do tyres at some point, but I just want to get all the basics back on first. So suspension, cross member, that sort of thing, and so on and so forth. Then we'll work into... Oh, actually, yeah, we need to put the suspension back together first. So let's join all these parts. Let's hope that we did them all. Everything seems to be going well at the moment, which is always good, but always scary at the same time. The reason why is just because when things start going well, you know there's normally something that's just going to be sneaking in the back of your mind. It's like, you haven't done this. That's what I sort of get. I get the paranoia, and you know, we are cutting it close when it comes to like building a car and so on and so forth. We are cutting it. We're into 20 grand into our budget. We have done a lot of work to this car though, in fairness, and I've got to be honest, I'm hoping we've almost got everything down. We have got to buy a new fuel tank, we've got to buy some bits and pieces, and mainly just because these are things that I actually forgot to buy when we were shopping anyway. Plus side is that they are easy things to find. Fuel tanks and, like, you know, fuel injectors, that sort of thing, it's all good. And I think we're basically, we should have everything, well, mostly everything, and then the engine's pretty much built already. All we've got to do is get out of a couple of reservoirs, because we're actually missing those, which does suck a little bit. But apart from that, I think this isn't going to be too bad. We're probably going to have to spend another couple of grand just making sure we got everything. But apart from that, we'll be fine. I do find it funny, though, that we were able to like redo the fitting for this engine to hold a supercharger. The downside is this is a mid-centered engine, so it's going to look a little bit funny. Especially with the blower that's going to be inside the car, poking up by the looks of it, like in the back of the window. So it's going to be entertaining, definitely. Okay, it's coming together. It really is. We're going to have to leave it for today, because obviously we need to wait for the panels to turn up. They haven't turned up yet. I've left a note on the front door to basically say, look, if we're not here, leave them around the back. We can pick them up tomorrow and they'll be all right. But yeah, it's slowly getting there. I'm seeing the future, but it's still a long, long ways away. Right, I'll see you all guys another day. I left my car at home today. We're having problems with like fuel in the area. Apparently some media spin and petrol this and fuel that. And I've got to be honest, it annoyed the smeg out of me, so I had to catch a lift this morning. Yeah, I did hear that all the parts did turn up, so we should be okay. So, today's job. Let's get in first and then we can go from there. So what we've got to do is we've got to put the panels back on the car, make sure they're straight and make sure it's all good, and then refill the liquids into the car and then basically chuck it through a test, make sure everything's aligned, headlights and so on and so forth. And then we can go from there and we can be all good. So that's where we're really heading for now. So hopefully we'll get this on right now and then we'll be all good. Here we go. Okay, so now all the body's on and everything else is on, and a supercharger engine looks a little bit funny in this car. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to enjoy driving this as a test drive, but it's definitely come along. I actually like the look of this car now. Instead of it looking a bit like, well, an old sock that's been crumpled up and let's say left under the bed for a long time, this car is actually starting to look like an actual car. And we were talking about like getting it valued and so on and so forth, because of obviously this being a slightly rarer model. Now I've heard like 70 grand being passed around in conversation. Not 100% sure how close that is to the actual truth, but 70 grand would be a really good blow for it. Would be a good hit for us. And the reason why is just because, well, I mean, the plus side is that we don't have to really worry about anything else. We just have to just go with the flow. Now, the problem with this car, as I found, is that if we want to put the shell back on, we have to get inside the car first, and we have to do that when we put the shell back over the engine, because we're just filling up with oil now. So, because of the way this car fits, that's how we have to do it. We can't. The worst part is like when you put the window on, obviously you can't tap through the window, so we're having to do it the other way around. It's all good though. We're slowly getting there. Slowly. All good. The fronts went on lovely. The backs not so bad. Well, not so much, but they're not bad. I mean, the mountings were still good, even though this car hasn't been driven in such a long time. Headlight wise, they're a little bit off, but we can sort this out. It's all good. Now, I'm not going to go in for anything flashy. Originally this car was like a factory wise, let's have a look at the old like chart and stuff. It's either orange, red, white, or this original color. Now I don't really want to paint it originals. Factory, I don't know. I sort of like this. This is actually quite nice. Well, here we are. We've got a supercharger V8 engine inside of this car. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's going to be loud. It's going to be good though. So that was a good test. I just want to see what this engine is actually putting out. We're probably standard 380, but it's all good. Gonna be honest, the car puts out absolutely fantastic. So yeah, finished. it's finally done, and this is the start of our journey. We spent $29,000 doing this car up from a rust bucket to, I'm going to be honest, a nice looking sled. There we go. Genuinely, it's not a bad little car. The engine upgrade that we put into it was absolutely fantastic. We did an amazing job on the interior. My guys have got so much to actually be proud of here. Gonna be honest, if this wasn't trying to be sold so we could upgrade to what we need to upgrade to, I'd probably keep this around in my museum. You know, it'd just be in my parking lot for all the people to see. But we do need to get rid of this. So I'm going to go and put this out on the interwebs now. And hopefully some nice person will send us a cash offer and disappear it. All need good. Cannot wait. So I got off the phone with him this morning. As I was coming in, he phoned me up and he said that he's going to drop by a bit later. He's offered us 78 for the car. So I'm just waiting to see if he's actually willing to come around and actually pick this up from us, and we can go from there. I'm hoping he takes it, in all honesty, because I got to be honest, this really will help. Let's put it that way. Yes. Right. Cool. So we're back. I got to be honest. It was sad to see that go. I actually enjoyed working on that car, but it needed to be done. We got rid of it, and it went to a good home. For what I could tell, he's going to use it at car shows just to sort of promote and so on and so forth. Obviously, we might get some customers out of that as well for restoration needs, which is good. Promotion's always nice, and if it's if it's got a big billboard next to it that says "Done at Rusty Nuts," then yeah, you never know what will come through our front door. But guys, I want to say thank you for keeping up with this episode. This is I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So the next step in this whole restoration thing, the next step is the skylines. So I'm going to go over and get those now. We're going to stick them into the shop. We're going to start working on them as soon as possible. Probably going to take the rest of the day off because it was a lot of work. I'll get me and Danny will just load the cars out. We'll come back here another day and we'll show you where we're going to go. So thank you very much for joining us. This has been the Rusty Nuts Garage with me, Hybridsteel. Thank you very much for kicking by. We'll see you all in another video. Hopefully you check out the next video coming up, where we're going to be working on some skylines. So thank you very much for kicking by. I'll see you all later. Peace out. Have fun. Enjoy everything you guys do. And guys, don't forget, hit that like, subscribe, notification button below for all of the updates. And I'll be back here with a brand new video, live stream, or whatever else we do over here. So thank you very much for kicking by. Boom. A fist bump to you.